Welcome to episode 4 of the Burn Music Show. I'm pleased to have with me today one of the greatest drummers to come out of the Chicago rock scene. We'll discuss his journey through the music industry and then highlight some of his post-rock success as well. We'll wrap up our show with a collaborative Spotify playlist of some of our favorite songs from the nu metal era. I'm your host Dimitri. This is the Burn Music Show. Let's go. From Zero were one of my favorite bands to come out of the nu metal era. They formed in 1998 and quickly became one of the most popular bands in Chicago during the late 1990s. Their first single hit the mid-30s on Billboard's mainstream rock charts, and they toured the country with some of the biggest bands in rock. Today, I'm happy to have the drummer for From Zero with me, Johnny Deneau, a.k.a. Kid. Kid, how you doing?
Dimitri, pleasure to be here, man. I love your new show. I wish you the most in success, man. Great stuff. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining, bud. This is like the definition of social distancing, right? We're about 2,500 miles apart, and we're conducting our show via cell phone.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. It's amazing. Gotta bless technology. Good job, humans.
Yes. All right, so take me back. Let's say 20 plus years and some change. So 1998, Chicago. What was that scene like at the time?
Man, it was a great scene, man. A lot of camaraderie between the all the bands up and coming, man. It was, a fight for the title, man, which made up, for a lot of great shows, man. A lot of great local support, man. It was just amazing. Great rock scene, man. Great city.
It was, yeah. And you guys invested in yourselves early on. So in a sense, you were kind of like a machine. You didn't waste much time. You got together, you wrote some great songs almost instantly, and then you just self-funded and distributed your own music on a CD, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, for us, it was fun, man. And then we kind of were like, man, we can actually do this. Everyone was pretty talented, extremely talented, I should say. And we just put our nose to the grindstone, you know, made our tapes, and then made our CDs. We're lucky enough to, been able to have done that and handed out, 5,000 of them. And the ones that weren't thrown to the curb, made it to people's stereos, man. And the rest is history. And that was cool, man. So yeah, it was kind of self-marketed and that was the way we did it.
Yeah. And that original CD has become sort of a cult classic here in Chicago. People refer to it as the Green Album. And it wasn't long before you guys were selling out clubs and theaters throughout the city. And you started getting some labels kind of circling around and a little buzz around that. I remember being at the Metro and seeing you guys, and it was a sold out show. There was a line down the street. It was like wrapped around the block, and everybody outside in line knew the show was sold out, but they were just, standing in line, hoping like there was a chance the doors might open again. And at that point, I'm like, man, this is something special.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We had such loyal fans. I mean, they believe that, even a little crack in the door, they can make it through, man. But we told everybody, man, just come to the show. There's a free baggie of Tootsie Rolls for everyone after the show. So it was all good, man. All good. Everyone was happy.
Man, I should have stuck with dental school.
Totally, man. No, man, it was great. Great time.
Yeah. So like I mentioned, you got the labels kind of circling you guys. How did you guys ultimately decide to go with Arista Records?
Man, we had a lot of cool people come out and check us out, a lot of cool labels, man. And, ultimately, it was just what we thought was best at the time, man. It was what we needed, for our future plans. And, so we were confident with that decision, and it was a great label.
So, they sent you out to Hollywood, right? So you go out to Hollywood to record your debut album, One Nation Under. Which, by the way, I just listened to, and it definitely stands the test of time here almost 20 years after its release. It's crazy. Musically, I think you guys avoided some of the trends that was happening at the time that now tends to make some of that music from that era sound a little dated. Was this by design when you guys were out there? Or were you just following your strengths as a band?
Yeah, I don't know if it was by design. We knew what was out there, man, and we were influenced by, a lot of the bands out there at the time as well. So we were just doing kind of our own thing, man. And, you can hear some kind of influences from some of the rap rock stuff, but we were more into our just straight Chicago underground hardcore sound, man. And it just so happened to come up around that new metal time period. And me being one of the younger guys in the band, AKA Kid, and, Rob Rucha as well, and Jet and Pete and Joe, man, they're all kind of, hip with the times, man, and everything that was going on. So, yeah, there was a little influence of that. But I think From Zero, man, was just its own entity.
Right. Absolutely. So the album's out. You guys are having some success in the rock charts. You now have a music video that's actually getting some airtime on MTV or MTV2, and you hit the road. What tours did you guys go on at the time?
Man, we were, lucky enough to open up for a lot of bands. We played a lot of radio shows, which was awesome. Got to see, all my favorite bands, Marilyn Manson.
Wow.
We toured with Deftones and Godsmack. That was a real treat, man. Deftones,
Some heavy hitters,
God,
yeah.
Godsmack every night. Deftones, great crowd, man. It was just, it was awesome, man. It was just great. So I got to say, man, we were blessed to have some of those tours and be a part of all that.
Those are some heavy hitters. Did any of those like seasoned bands step up and kind of help you guys a little bit and maybe provide some mentorship?
Yeah, man. They were all cool. They were all pretty humble. They all dug the music. They were real. I mean, you know, I couldn't complain, man. It was a great time to be around everyone.
Yeah. I remember I saw you guys on that tour at the House of Blues on the Sunset Strip in Los Angeles, right in Hollywood. And if you circle back to episode 2 of the podcast, you'll see the importance of catching the opening bands, right? So you guys were opening up for hip hop legends Run DMC. And it was interesting because I knew you from Chicago, the band. And now I'm watching this new audience in Los Angeles who are completely unaware of you guys. And they're pretty much there for Run DMC. And it was great seeing them go from like soldiers just kind of staring at you to really getting into it. And it probably took about a song. And then, they were moshing and they were just loving it. And we actually bumped into the brilliant Dan Aykroyd that night, who was there for Run DMC. He's part owner of the House of Blues, or was at the time. And he was thrilled, man. And he loved the fact that you guys were from Chicago. But you guys always focused. You always made it a point to be a good live band, even back in the early Chicago days. Tell us, what's the importance of that? What's the importance of being able to deliver on stage?
Well, man, we were, musicians and also avid sports fans. So we were just, being from Chicago, we were, very competitive, man. So it was like we hit the stage. It was Super Bowl Sunday, man. Every
Bears
show, Go Bears, go Bears, go Bears. But go Rams too. I don't want to get killed out here. No, I'm just kidding. Go Bears. Anyway, yeah, man. So it was Super Bowl Sunday. At least that was the take, man, for the majority of the band, I think, and that's why we went out there, man. And no matter how we were feeling, no matter what we were going through, man, when we got on stage, it was just fucking kill, kill, kill.
Yes. So fast forward, tour's over. A little downtime, and then basically right back to work, right? The label sent you out. Was it Malibu? They sent you out for your second album?
Yes. We recorded it. Yeah, recording at Morning View, the Incubus house. And it was great. What else would it be, I guess, in Malibu, but great.
Yeah. What do you mean by Incubus house?
That was the house they recorded their album Morning View. And it was on the street. And it was on the street called Morning View in Malibu.
There you go. They had an MTV Cribs for that.
Yes, they did. So you've probably a lot of people have seen it. But yeah, no, it was great. It was a great house. We had Warren Riker step in,
Grammy Award winner. Yep.
Yep. He stepped in and kicked some ass. We cracked the whip on him, and he did as he was told. And no, he's great, man. One of the greatest guys you can ever work with in this crazy business.
Yeah, he won a Grammy in the 90s for the Fugees for their breakout album.
Yes, he did. He might even got a car for that. But I'm not saying. All right.
So I can't, making a follow-up, let's say, to your debut, I can't imagine how difficult that must be. So, your debut album's a little different. You had about 80% of those songs already written. They were crafted. You knew what worked and what didn't. everything is new and fun. But now you're kind of transitioning into making your second album. There's probably a lot more stress and pressure that you guys are feeling both internally and from outside. Um, what was that transition like?
Man, yeah, there was a lot of pressure at first, but we kind of sat down and said, man, we can do this. We had a couple months to write the record, probably a little less than that, to be honest with you. And we were fortunate enough to have support for that from the record label. So thank you, Arista, again. And we were able to, these guys were great writers, man. They were really creative and they were great players.
Yes.
And they knew a lot about harmony and making different parts work. So we all collaborated together, and that's why we all, are credited together on these songs, because, even if it was somebody's main idea, there's no way it would have been this From Zero song without everybody's input. So yeah, man. So we made this record. It was cool. Warren stepped in, through some cool, his hip East Coast, whatever, West Coast, Cross Coast, World Coast, Universal Coast, you know, lunacy on there, and it was that, man. It was an album, different from our first one, and I thought that was cool. It's cool to
Yeah.
be a little different.
And you had a little tour for that album. It wasn't as long as your first tour, right?
No, unfortunately not. That album got a little cut short, as we did with the record label. So for whatever reason, whatever rhymes, hey man, we had to, do our thing.
So you guys kind of separated from Arista and you went your separate ways.
Yeah, we had no choice at that point, man. It was, tough times for some of us. Some of us had kids and families, and had to get with the real world. So that was that.
So that's ultimately when the band broke up. Then soon after the departure.
Yes, they broke up, and people went on their separate ways, and I ended up coming out here for a project, another project by Warren Riker, and it was called Super Creep, and that eventually led to other things. And
so you moved out to Los Angeles for good then. So you left Chicago, and now you're in LA, and it's for Super Creep. Tell me about Super Creep.
Super Creep was a cool project, man. Some cats from the East Coast, Jersey, and New York. Really hip stuff, man. Way ahead of its time. This is about 15 years ago, and just stuff way ahead of its time. Stuff you'll be hearing on alternative radio right now. That everyone's like, "Oh, that's so cool." These guys were doing it 15 years ago. Bunch of young kids, man. They were great to work with, man. It was a pleasure. They had a Pat Magnarella from Green Day, their manager. He was, involved in the project a little bit. So that was cool. Yep. It was worth the trip out here. And I always wanted to come out here ever since the From Zero days, man.
That's awesome. And what happened to the band?
Just things fell through, some bad luck here and there, man, a couple of things. And like I said, they were young kids, man, they had some other things they wanted to do too. So, man, it was all good, man. It's nothing I've never seen before. And,
right.
Just kept holding out, man, holding out.
But now in Hollywood, you did discover a little side hustle, right? You kind of dabbled with film and TV and still do.
Yeah. I was fortunate enough to meet an agent out here, a really cool guy. And he basically told me I'm going to quit the drums and be an actor. Even though most of the auditions he sent me out were drumming auditions, and 4 movies and TV, which was great. And I happened to land in the movie Jersey Boys, the Warner Brothers movie, and directed by Clint Eastwood, which was amazing. Got to meet him, and actually him and Frankie Valli, man, the great Frankie Valli. So, man, grew up listening to his music, man, on all my mom's records, man. So that was really a surreal trip, man. Those guys are amazing legends, and even seeing them in person, it's just wow.
Did you actually get to talk to Clint Eastwood?
Yeah, man. Actually, he did direct me. The first thing he said to me, man, first scene we did, he said, "Start with the brushes." And I said, "All right, that was it," and then one of the other scenes we did, he goes, we were done playing, and he was standing doing a crowd shot behind me, and he goes, tapped me on the shoulder, and he goes, "I like the way you play." And I turn around, man, and I stood up, and I'm like, "Clint, you are the fucking man, always and forever." And he looks at his sentence. Everyone's looking around like, "What the fuck?" He looks at his and goes, "He's got good taste."
Oh, that's awesome.
So
What
yeah,
a
man.
story, man. And good impersonation.
Yeah, I'll try. Hopefully he doesn't come out after me, man. I tried, Clint. I tried.
So what's next? What's next in the life of a Johnny Deneau, aka Kid?
Man, I reunited with the girl of my dreams out here, and ended up having a family. And man, it's awesome, man. Just living the life, man. Still trying to do the hustle, man. Playing when I can. Fortunate enough to have some gigs out here where people actually pay me to play. So that's
Well, that's important.
respectful. It's respectful, man. It makes me happy. And
Yeah,
at the same time, happy to fall back on a degree that I have, able to count some beans and keep the lights on in LA, because we all know the fires don't always burn, and you got to pay the piper.
that's awesome. What's that degree in?
Accounting.
Oh, nice. So
Yeah.
you're working as an accountant?
Currently, right now, for a high-end skincare company, and yeah, man, it's good. Like I said, it's like something I'm glad I have, because otherwise I'd
Absolutely.
probably be a bar back at the Rainbow Room right
That's
now.
it, man. Taking care of the family
I love
is
the Rainbow Room,
is
man.
rule number one of rock and roll, right? Got to be able to take care of the family.
Oh yeah, you got to keep the vultures away. Stay away, you vultures.
So I don't know if you came across this. So there's this YouTube channel that was seeking a bunch of live shows from the early 2000s, and they just put up, I think it was this week or last week, a show that From Zero had at CBGB's back like in 2000 or 2001, and it is awesome. There's your full set, and there's a bunch of new metal era, I guess, shows up there now. But Disturbed is reuniting. I mean, well, they've been together, but they're touring for their, I think it's a 20th anniversary of their debut. They have Stain in support. Puddle of Mud is doing a tour with a bunch of bands and Saliva. Have you ever given a thought about maybe rekindling the love with From Zero a little bit?
Man, of course, man. I mean, the music never dies, man. Not in my soul. I don't think in anybody's soul. Those guys are all great guys, all humble dudes. Yeah, should opportunity arise, I don't see why not. And I think our kids are all getting a little older now, so I say, fuck it.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear. Yeah, because that band, I felt like you guys always just kind of went on pause. You came so quick. It was like a whirlwind of 4 to 5 years, and poof, it was gone. But nobody really went out and did like, From Zero 2.0 or something else. Everybody went on and did something almost non-music related, where I think if you guys did turn back to the music and From Zero, it would almost seem like very seamless, which would be great.
Yeah, man. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. Any financiers out there, bring it.
All right. So we're going to wrap it up with doing a playlist. You down with making a collaborative Spotify playlist? We'll pick like 10 or 12 of our favorite, new metal era, I guess, songs.
Okay.
And we'll make it together, but then we'll make it collaborative. So people listening can add whatever they want, because we're going to miss a lot of great bands, and a lot of great songs that'll be off this list. So we'll make it available for people to share. You down?
Man, I'm down, man. And no offense to anybody I miss on this list, or any songs, or to anything, man. This is a representation of my opinion and my man Dimitri on the Burn Radio Show.
That's right, brother. All right. So I'm going to start off with number one, and I got to do From Zero. So I'll do your first single. We'll do Check Ya by From Zero.
Cool, man. I dig it. All right, man. I'm going to step in there, and I'm going to go along with the lines of heaviness, and I'm going to go with Machine Head, 10-Ton Hammer. Great intro song.
Nice. All right. I'll follow that up with a little Slipknot, sticking on the heavier side, and we'll do Duality.
Great song, man. My kid loves that song. And when he saw the video, he was like, whoa. I'm like, yup,
awesome.
that's reality, duality. All right, man, here we go. I'll get you one. I'm gonna go with the Grikos on this one, Dimitri. Stained, It's Been a While.
Ooh, nice one. All right. I'm gonna pick a band. I'm gonna do Linkin Park, okay?
Okay.
We all know Linkin Park. You couldn't avoid them 2001 to 2004. They were everywhere, their videos everywhere. But really, it wasn't until Chester Bennington's death that, after reading up on his life and his story, the songs, his words, his vocals all carried a little different weight. There's more gravity to it now for me personally. I'm really into the band. So I'm gonna go with Linkin Park, Numb.
Nice, dude. Nice, dude. I like that. Yeah, man. Sometimes when you find out the full story of somebody, you listen to their music, you're like, I get it now. Get it all. It's cool,
Exactly.
man. It's great, man.
Yep.
Very, very mature of you, man. Very mature. All right, man. I'm gonna go with a classic from that era, and I love it, man. And it's simple, man. It's a tune that some people, might roll up their windows and crank real loud. Saliva, click, click, boom.
Boom! Nice. Good choice. All right, now I'm gonna go to one of the godfathers of that era, and it's Korn. Got the Life.
Oh yeah, man. Ultimate, and break your apartment floor, man. That's Korn. Slamming, dude. Slamming. Right on. All right, man. I'm gonna go a little bit a little bit Christian, man, with the POD. Alive, man. I think that's a great
Nice.
group. I think that's great production, man.
Positive message too. Nice.
Yes, yes.
And speaking of breaking the apartment, we're gonna go with a little Limp Bizkit in the house, yo. Break stuff.
Great band, man. I like to add Just Like This by them as well, man. I thought that was great, man. That showcases their tightness, man, and sounds and Terry Date, production and all that good stuff.
Awesome.
Maybe,
So back to back Biscuit.
yeah, why not?
All right. I'll go with Static X. Push it.
Oh yeah, man. Like 10,000 parties, man. I've heard that song yet back in those days. Word. Okay, man. You know what I don't care about? I don't care that I'm going to bring some new metal back from some old schoolers with Brides of Destruction and the song
Wow.
I Don't Care.
Wow. Nikki Sixx and Tracy Guns will be really happy to be on a new metal playlist. That is awesome.
Hell yeah, man. I think they fit that description, bro. They changed with the times for that one, man, and they came out dirtier and badder than most, bro.
Yeah, those guys are probably your neighbors, by the way.
Yeah, man. Hey guys, free to jam anytime after 9:00 p.m. before 6:30 a.m. I think that fits perfectly in their schedule, man. So,
all right. I saw that band at the Metro, by the way. They were great.
I think I was there, man. I think I was at that same show, dude.
You were.
How ironic.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to go System of a Down, Aerials.
Oh, yeah, dude. Great band, dude. Great drummer. Cool, man. All right, man. I'm going to go with something a little more technotronic. I'm going to go with Orgy and a great cover of the classic Blue Monday.
Yeah, that was cool. They killed it. All right. I'm going to give some love to Illinois and these dudes from, where are they from? They're from Rockford, Mudvayne.
Oh, dude. Sick.
Dig.
That's a sick band, dude. Love that band. Played a few shows with those guys, man. Always great. Always great time.
Amazing musicians. Yep.
Woo. All right, man. Let's see here. How about a little Deftones? I'm gonna go with the Deftones, man. A little My Own Summer.
That man, riff, stole dude. It.
Yeah, man. That riff, dude, was the epitome of the riffs for all newcomers. Beware, we are still the Deftones.
That was great. That was next on my list. So I'll keep it then. I'll keep it with Chicago and give Disturbed some love here because it wouldn't be new metal without a little ooh, and we got Down with the Sickness.
Absolutely, man. We played a few shows with those guys as well. Great guys, man.
Awesome.
All right, it's my turn.
Yep.
All right, dude. I'm gonna go with an LA band here, and I'm gonna go with one that was kind of a short-lived one. Not in a From Zero sense, but maybe in a truck might have fell on the dude's car and killed him sense. But it's a band called Snot, and their self-titled song Snot. That'll rip.
Tell me about
your.
Tell me about the record.
Great record, man.
Awesome record.
Yeah. It's a great record, man. It's one of the ones that I just stumbled upon while being on tour, man. And my singer was into him. Jet was into him, man. He turned me on to him, and it was a great treat, man. I still listen to him to this day.
Absolutely. Love that band. All right, so I gotta go another nu metal staple here. Wouldn't be nu metal without this song. Let the bodies hit the floor. Drowning Pool, Bodies.
Oh yeah, man. Great song. Great song. Heard that song in every arena parking lot. Every show, man. People were just getting trash, slamming each other on the gravel. It was beautiful. Beautiful humans. Gotta love them. Proud to be
All right,
one.
kid, I think you got one more.
All right, man. Let me do one more because I don't know if I have one more, but I'm going to add one just off the top of my head. And that's going to be, I'm going to go with one. I think I already did that one. So, man, I'm going to go back to Slipknot and do Sick. I'm going to do Sick by Slipknot.
Awesome. Good choice. Yeah, there's too many more to list. I'm going to end off with a little Kid Rock and Devil Without a Cause.
There you go.
But yeah, feel free if you're listening, add to this. There's plenty of bands and killer songs that we've left off.
Absolutely, we did.
So find it on Burn Music Show. It's going to be called, it'll be the From Zero Nu Metal playlist.
It's going to be called Joe. Joe Mama.
Dude, don't quit your day job.
No way. I'll jam until the day I die. Internally, externally.
Well, thanks for spending some time with me, man. And I really hope that someday soon I can have all of From Zero on here on the show. Maybe together we'll do it in the studio and we'll do a live session jam. Wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be great, man. Maybe we can work on something this summer. You never know when I'll be back in the Shy.
Awesome.
Well, man, thank you so much for having me on your show, man. And I want to thank all the listeners out there, all the From Zero Nation tuning in, man. Thank you for still sticking with us, man. Now thank, the internet that you guys can, still check us out and hear us. And you never know, man. Maybe one day the Zero will come to get you.
Hopefully. I'll be posting some fun From Zero stuff on my feeds. Follow Burn Music Show on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and we'll be uploading this podcast to Spotify and wherever else you're listening to your podcast at.
Non-edited and raw.
That's it. One take, baby.
Nice job, Dimitri, man. Talk to you soon, man. Thanks for having me on your show.
Later, kid. Thanks again.
All right, brother.
Bye.